For generations, in the public imagination, a healthy forest was thought to be one untouched by mankind. As we're beginning to learn, that was never the case.
Something that's really interesting is many people look at our forests and they see these dense green forests and they think that's a really healthy forest. And then you see this more open forest with spaced out trees and you think that's the unhealthy forest. And that may or may not be the case. Sometimes the unhealthy forest is the really dense forest, and it is a result of our past forest management.
So now you have a state like California with 99 million dead trees. And you have these giant combustion fires that have never happened before. And again, when the Indians burned, they burned the brush, and much of our forests, particularly in the West, the floor was grassland, not brush.
If we don't have loggers removing some of this wood, our forests will burn down. Nobody tried harder to make people understand that if they removed all management from these forests, that we were going to have a terrible crisis on our hands. And everything that I've said for the last 30 years has come true.
Of course we want to preserve old growth, but is that exactly what we should be doing? Or should we be going in and thinning out some of the lower lying vegetation to make sure that the old growth that we think we preserve doesn't just get burnt to a crisp in a high intensity fire? I mean, we're still struggling with those questions now.
There's no question we need to treat mechanically and through prescribed fire many more acres than we are today. By the late 70s and early 80s, there was a lot of distrust around our logging programs. And unfortunately, I think people are associating that with what we're trying to do now.
We can do a better job of rebuilding some of the trust that we've lost with some of the members in our different communities. And I think that's the edge that we want to try and reach now in bringing people together.
The biggest impediment is literally you have 4 or 5 decades behind the curve. So you're looking at remedial solutions that are not only have to be gigantic in size and scale, but they're going to be really expensive.
We now know at least part of the solution: a re-engagement with the forest, using strategic mechanical clearing and prescribed burning on a larger scale. But big expanses require big political will.